Hey guys, and today this is the third episode of the Heavy Division 7A7 tutorial, and today this tutorial is consisting of the CDU programming tutorial so we can navigate. So let's go ahead and get started. First, make sure your IRS switches are on, and then come down here to the CDU, and then you want to come to the position initialization, press the GPS position, set it to the IRS position, and now your position is initialized. I'm going to go ahead and clear that. Alright, so now you want to go to the RTE tab, and we're going to be flying from George Bush International in Houston to Denver International Airport. So the airport code for George Bush is Kilo India Alpha Hotel. You use these to type and put all your data in, and then you can press the tab you want it to go to, put it in there. And then our destination airport code is going to be Kilo Delta Echo November. Alright, so now we got the airport code set up, which is basically just setting up your origin airport and your destination airport. Now you can see that here, you can use this knob to zoom in and out on the maps. Now you can see that it has a direct line from here to your destination airport. It has a max range of 640 miles. Just leave it on the airport for now. And here I'll show up the route. Here's sim brief. Our route is going to be the Stick 8 departure, DOLEY transition on the departure. And we're going to go through how to put waypoints in between the departure and arrival. And here's the HALEN transition for the next 3 arrival into Denver. And that's our route. I'll go ahead and put it in the description if y'all want to try it out. And yeah, so that's our route. Let's go ahead and put in the arrival in, which is going to be the Stick 8. So we're going to go ahead and go all the way to the end here, because the Stick 8 departure is there. You use these to go through pages. So here's the Stick 8. We're going to be on the DOLEY transition. And we are going to be taking off 15 left. Now, let's go through how to put fixes in between your departure and arrival. You want to go to the RTE tab, next page, then here you can go direct to any fixes you want between. If you want to put an airway in, you put your waypoint that's before the airway, so your via waypoint, and then you put your airway. You put your airway, and you can type that in with the numbers and letters, but we don't have airways today. So if you want to put in an airway, you can do that. So we're going to go ahead and put our fixes in. It's going to be the fuzz waypoint. I think that's a VOR, but it's going to be Foxtrot Uniform Zulu. And then the next waypoint is going to be Sierra Papa Sierra. And if you're not sure which one it is, you can come sim brief here. Find your waypoint. So in our case, it's Sierra Papa Sierra. So it's a VOR. So we're gonna want VOR option on the thing. So we'll go ahead and choose VOR. And we got that waypoint in. And now we're back to our departure page. We're on the next 3, HALEN transition. So we'll go back to our departure tab, departure and arrival. And we're going to go to the arrival section. And we're going to go next until we find next. Oh, next 3, HALEN transition. And then here you can pick your approaches you want. So right here it's given us the ILS. Well, it's given us 16 right, but we can choose what kind of approach we want. We can choose ILS, RNAV, so RNAV, and I think if you want a visual approach, here's the visual, and yeah. So we're going to go ahead and select the ILS 16 right. And here's where it gets a little tricky. So it's not tricky, but it's hard to find how to do it. So you're gonna wanna, you don't have to use this other option I found. You can just put in each transition, but if you don't want a transition, that's fine. I think it'll just put it up. But if you go to Navigraph, you have to pay for this, so if we go Navigraph, let's see if we can find it here. I'll go ahead and put it up on the screen. So we're going to want the 16 right approach. We're going to do the ILS. Going to go ahead and look at it. And you can choose your approach it. You can choose your transition. So since we're going to be coming from Radville, or this part right here, we're going to want to choose since we're coming from this side, we're going to want to choose the Tishner transition. Or we can choose the Kell transition. If you're on VATSIM and you're in a rush, then I would choose Kell. Or you can just do final, and it'll just put it in right there. Like here, if you choose final, it's just gonna go straight to the start of the approach. And that's basically how you find which transition you want. So we're going to choose the Tishner, and then after that, when we're done with setting up our route, we can press activate and then execute. So now your route is fully in, but you can't just activate it and execute it and then just go fly. You have to do some other stuff. So we're going to go to our legs, and we found a discontinuity. So in order to fix this, discontinuity is basically blocking off your route from this fix to the other one. So let's go and see what a discontinuity looks like. See, it blocked it off. So we need to fix that. So in order to fix it, you just click on the waypoint that's after the emptiness, the discontinuity, and then you put it on the vector. Then you'll see a blue line, and then you press execute right there. And now it's fixed. It's like magic. Alright, and just scroll through your legs page to see if there's any more discontinuities. Now, this discontinuity is normal. Some people just leave it. I sometimes leave it right there, because if I'm flying on VATSIM, I don't know if they're going to give me a different approach. So if they give me a different approach, I just leave it there so I can change it. But if you'd like to fix the discontinuity, you can do the same thing. Press your transition waypoint, or just waypoint. Put it on vector, and your discontinuity is fixed. So now that we've fixed the discontinuities, we want to go to our perf initialization page. this is where we enter in some other data. And this is where you really, really need SimBrief. So, we'll go ahead and look at it. So our cruising altitude is going to be 35,000 feet. So in flight levels, that would be 350. And basically just enter all the data in that it says. So, and the next part is we need to enter in our cost index. So, let's find our cost index. It should be on here somewhere. At least I thought I saw it. Yep, cost index. Our cost index is going to be 87. So, here, let me show it again. Cost index right there, CI 87. So, look for that. And then we're going to put in 87 in the cost index page. I'm not really familiar with all this stuff right here. But this is an idea of how I think the zero fuel weight works, the ZFW. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you round it. So our estimated zero fuel weight is 301,000 pounds. So they put a decimal. Oh crap, sorry. So they put a decimal right there. So I think it would be 301.0, but I may be wrong, so please correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah. So I'm just gonna put in 301.0, and with the reserves, I'm really not familiar with that. I don't know what that is. I think you round it too, but I can't find any data on there, so I'm just gonna leave that one empty. But if you have any help on that, like, I can't find any data about that. They do have this that will give you a bunch of information. So it has the cost index. So, oh, well, I did not see that. They have the zero fuel weight in here, so we'll go ahead and put that in. So just go SimBrief and put in the briefing, and go to the zero fuel weight, and you can put that in. So for us, our zero fuel weight is 301.2. I was close. 0.2. No. 301.2. There we go. I'm sure the reserve fuel is on here somewhere, but I'm being a little lazy, so I'm not gonna go through it. We got other stuff in the FMS to do. But yeah. So that's basically how you work the perf initialization page. So don't forget to go to the flight plan paper that SimBrief gives you. If you have SimBrief, you can just go simbrief.com and log in or create an account. Alright, so let's go to the next page. Thrust limit. I like to put it at the top. This has stuff to do with autopilot. In the next episode, we'll go over autopilot. But, yeah. So, if you want, you can put it to the top. Or to say, this is for auto throttle, so to save fuel or something, you can put it lower and lower. Like, it won't go, as the throttle won't go full throttle or something like that. So I just put it on top so it can go full throttle so I can get more speed, but whatever you like. Alright, so let's go to takeoff. And now this is where you set off your takeoff reference. So on takeoff, we're going to put in 10 degrees flaps, whatever number of flaps you want. I mainly put 10. I think most people put in 15, but we're going to do 10. And our V1 on the takeoff is going to be 120. And our rotate speed is going to be 130. And V2, I learned it from someone that on your auto throttle, after you take off, you use the toga thing and you can put in your speed that you want for the auto throttle after takeoff on V2. So for me, that would be like 180, something like that. So you can just do that. And this is also helpful as the Zulu time right there. So that's basically it on the perf init page. So usually I just leave it on the legs page, and if you need to change anything, like fix a discontinuity or something right there, you can. And before you taxi, you just need to check, make sure your route is actually in, because it's done that to me before. And yeah, that's basically how you work the CDU, but there are some other stuff like VNav. I don't really use that though, so I don't worry about that. I don't even know how I use it. I just use LNav and, sorry about that. I just use LNav and descend with autopilot, so I don't use VNav that much. And there's the hold option where if air traffic control tells you to hold at this waypoint, or if you're doing a missed approach, you can hold at a waypoint. You can select a new hold and all that stuff. But that's some complicated stuff. I'm just going through all the basics right now. But that's basically how you work the FMS or CDU. And I will see y'all in the next video, which will be the autopilot tutorial. See ya.